All right, so we're going to talk about what a financial plan is. This is the roadmap. This is the strategy behind getting to where you want in life, right? So financial freedom, to get financial freedom, there are 6 main components of a financial plan or a roadmap. You have your cash flow management, figuring out, well, I'll get into that. You have your cash flow management, you have insurance preparation, retirement planning, investment optimization, tax strategy. I'm going to go into all these in more detail. And then you have to protect all of this. All of this that you've built, you have to protect it all. So that's protecting your legacy. So those are the 6 main components that we're going to dive into. The first section is cash flow management. So cash flow management is literally at the top. It's the pinnacle of everything. Without proper cash flow management, the rest doesn't work, right? You can't invest properly. You maybe shouldn't even be investing, and you are. We'll get into that. But cash flow management means making sure that your high interest debts are paid down, getting your debts paid down, making sure you have a proper emergency fund. Because guess what? What happens if you don't have a proper emergency fund? Yes. And then you never get out of this situation. So that's why emergency funds are so important. The next section is insurance protection. So who has more risk exposure? Who is living a riskier life? Somebody that works from home every day or someone that drives to work in rush hour traffic? The driver. The driver lives a riskier life. They have a higher risk of getting in a car accident because they drive in rush hour every day. They have a higher risk of getting hurt in an accident. They may need really good car insurance, and they may need lower deductibles than the person that sits at home and works from home. So that's what risk exposure analysis means, is analyzing our lives. Do we have kids? Do we need life insurance for our children? Things like that. Do we need disability insurance in case something happens to us and we can't work? So that's where this analysis comes in. Okay, then we move on to retirement planning. We're all young. We're probably not thinking about when we're going to retire, but we kind of need to. The reason that we need to is because we can't plan for something without having an idea, right? So we need to think about retirement. That's what comes in play here. And we're going to actually do a whole worksheet on retirement coming up, so I'm not going to get too much into that. Now, a lot of people are contributing to 401ks or IRAs. Do you guys know what an IRA is? If not, I can talk about it a little bit. But basically, an IRA is a retirement savings vehicle. A 401k is also a retirement savings vehicle. These are the 2 main retirement savings vehicles. You may have one at work, and you may not even know you're enrolled in it. Because a lot of companies these days are auto-enrolling people into these plans because there's a big retirement crisis and people aren't saving enough for retirement. But here's the kicker. If you have a lot of high-interest debt, does it make sense to be saving for retirement?
No, pay off the debt first.
Why?
Because it's compounding at a much higher interest rate than what you're earning from your 401k.
Thank you. Exactly. A lot of people they're drowning in debt that they're paying 10+% interest on, but they're contributing to their 401ks. Guess what? The average return of the stock market is around 7% after inflation. Over here, you're making 7% a year on average. Over here, you've got 24% interest compounding against you. Okay, we may need to pull some of that money from your 401k contributions and put it towards this, get this down, get this gone, and you'll have a higher return at the end of it. So that's kind of where strategy comes in. So then, investment optimization. Everybody has a different risk tolerance. Everyone in this room. Some people are conservative. They do not want to lose their money. The thought of them losing money makes them want to throw up. Some people are moderate. They're in the middle. Some people are very aggressive. They're like, YOLO, put me in, I'm in, right? Everyone has a different risk tolerance. It's important to know that before you get started investing in any kind of strategy. So that's number one. The other thing we need to think about is our timeline. How long do we have till we need this money? Probably for a lot of you guys, 20, 30 years, right? That's a long time. So your investment strategy is going to be different based on how long you have until you need the money. Okay, taxes. Oh my gosh, how boring, right? So tax strategy is actually, okay. What do you think the two most expensive things in your life are that you pay? The two most expensive things. I'll give you a hint. One is your house, your rent.
Property taxes.
Close. Taxes, straight taxes. It was right in front of your face. I just tricked you guys. Yeah, so the two most expensive things you will ever purchase in your life, well, I wouldn't call it purchasing, but your home, your rent, mortgage, either one, and your taxes, federal income taxes, or if you're self-employed, self-employment taxes. So taxes are a lot, and people probably don't pay enough attention to ways to save on taxes like they should, because everyone wants to save on taxes. So find a good CPA. This is super important. I'm not a CPA. I don't like doing tax documents, so I use a CPA myself. I encourage people to interview multiple CPAs. Find one that you like, that you think will help you strategize with your taxes. The other thing is, if you own a business, making sure that your business, or if you want to own a business, some of you may have a goal of owning a business, you want to make sure that you have the right business structure set up. And then choosing between the right retirement accounts. So there's tax-deferred accounts and tax-advantaged accounts. So how this works is, a tax-deferred account is saying, okay, I get a tax deduction now, and I pay taxes later. That's tax-deferred. That's what we're doing when we're putting money in our 401ks. We're getting a tax deduction now to be able to save money now. Tax-advantaged is you pay taxes now, and then later you get to take the money out in retirement tax-free. So they're two very different strategies. It's good to use both. Have you ever heard of a Roth IRA? Roth IRA? Yeah. So there's a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. And this is what I mean. A traditional, you save taxes now, and a Roth, you save taxes later. So again, this is a lot of stuff, so I can't go into a whole lot of detail, or else we'd be here till 10 o'clock at night. But I wanted to just give you guys a quick overview of what that is, and just to be aware of it and know that it's a thing that you should be thinking about. So we've done all this stuff. We've made sure our cash flow is good. We've budgeted. We paid down our debts. We started investing. We have 401ks. We have IRAs. We have real estate investments. Now you have to protect it all. You have to make sure that it goes to the right place if anything happens to you. So that's what legacy planning is. And that's just essentially making sure you have a will, making sure if something ever happens, everything is taken care of for you. And this is important because you work really hard to build this strategy for yourself. You want to make sure it's protected. So this is the main point of this whole class, is a lot of people kind of put the cart before the horse, or they might be and not realize it. So step one, the first thing we want to be doing is making sure our cash flow is properly allocated between debts, emergency funds, and making sure we have the proper insurance to cover our butts in case something happens. Then, once all of that's done, we move to investing. So step one and then step two. Step two is making sure we're invested in our 401ks, our IRAs, real estate, Bitcoin, whatever it is that you want to invest in. So a lot of people start investing. They start doing number two before they do number one. Do you guys see how that could happen?
That's the more sexy one.
Yeah, everyone wants to invest. No one wants to deal with budgeting and debt. Yeah, because what do they think? They think, oh well, I'll invest. That way, I'll have money, you know. But you got to look at number one before you look at number two.